When done properly, the internet, screens, and particularly social media can provide 5 essential elements of adolescent well-being: a sense of control over one's environment, individuation, self-expression, a connection to others, and acceptance. And then there is the abyss. Welcome to App-Propriate, a podcast designed to give you a little taste into the positives and negatives of the most popular social media apps, so that you and your most importants can make more informed, healthy, and safer choices when it comes to interacting through your screens. I'm your host, Joe Langford. Note that I said safer, not safe. Interacting through screens with other humans contains a degree of natural risk, just like real life. And I believe that education leads to empowerment, and I hope this information helps add a degree of safety, social responsibility, and good digital citizenship to your social networking and the conversations you have about it with your family. Today's episode is about Hangouts Chat and Hangouts Meet. Over Google's history, the company has launched over a dozen voice and text chat apps, with Google Hangouts being the famed search engine's most popular and prominent example of a social media app. But Google Hangouts announced its retirement in October 2018 and is set to be replaced with Hangouts Chat and Hangouts Meet, the topics of this week's episode of Appropriate's Google-themed miniseries, dedicated to Google's suite of apps, its past, future, and its general impact on our larger culture and its specific impact on our kids. Google Hangouts Classic will still be in effect for most users until sometime in 2020, giving most people plenty of time to wade into the new interface change. This week's episode is about Hangouts Chat and Hangouts Meet, which falls into the texting and messenger app categories. Basically, Hangouts Chat is Google's answer to the more popular Slack, a text-based communication tool used to streamline collaborative projects and tasks for small groups and businesses. The new messaging app unifies messages into conversations. Instead of posting new chat messages as follow-ups to things posted earlier, you'll reply directly to older conversations or start new conversations when you have something to talk about. Or you can message individuals for one-on-one chats inside your group. It will also be very integrated with the rest of Google because Google, so you can share Google Docs documents and manage appointments right in the chats. Google Chat isn't an exact replica of your typical chat app because it's not tied to an account. Instead, it's tied to your phone number and will bring chat-like features and the ability to send messages and image files over traditional SMS messaging on Android phones. This makes it more similar to WhatsApp or Apple's iMessage, in which users can send messages and higher quality media files over data or Wi-Fi without using their text message allowance. Sort of like a text that behaves like an email. Google Chat is available in the Apple App Store, though it's integrated directly into newer Android brand phones. In fact, most smartphone companies have followed suit, with only Apple holding out. Even Microsoft has signed up for the service, meaning that users would be able to tie their phone chats to their computers as well. Google Hangouts Meet is the video chat-based cousin app to Google Chat. A bit confusing, especially because the interfaces are visually very similar, except for the chat options. Meet is most similar to the original Hangouts video calls, and the video part will be that app's main focus. There's no integrated text chat. That is reserved for the companion Hangouts Chat. If you allow your child to participate in video chat, take and create opportunities to discuss conflict management, thinking bigger picture, and developing tough skin. It's important to have conversations with your kids about these topics, empowering them with the knowledge on how to chat responsibly, how to handle the problems that will inevitably occur, and under what circumstances it may be necessary to end a chat or block and report people. Chat apps can be very useful for keeping in touch with important people and around particular tasks and activities. One potential issue, I believe, is the pervasiveness. Google's roots are so large and run so deep that it makes sharing so much content so easily and at very high levels of connectivity that it can get overwhelming. And with children, they aren't always aware of that overwhelm. In such a limitless environment, the messages and notifications can feel constant and invasive, and that stress of missing an exchange, wondering what that person said when they posted blank, And the general trauma and drama can show up in your kids' sleep patterns, schoolwork, and self-esteem. Chat apps like Google's Meet and Chat can be a great way to keep in touch. But it's important to have ongoing conversations with your kids about what's okay to share digitally, how much and with whom they're communicating, the content of their conversations, and self-care and boundaries. I'll conclude Appropriate's Google-themed miniseries next week with an episode on Google Docs. Why, you might ask, is a social networking podcast discussing a document processing app? Download next week to find out. Thank you for listening. I'm Joe Langford. I'm a therapist, a sex and tech educator, and a dad, and I specialize in helping families navigate that intersection of adolescence, sexuality, technology, and behavior. More information about me and my work to promote healthy, positive, and safer sexual and social behavior, both online and off, can be found at my website, beheroes.net.
The advice presented in this podcast is a form of education and is intended to provide general information about common though broad topics that impact underage people. Specific circumstances and facts may make said advice unsuitable and/or other actions necessary for individuals. This podcast is meant to be an adjunct, not a replacement, for IRL experience, professional advice, and good old-fashioned common sense. In addition, much of the information included here can and most likely will change with time, culture, and the rapid development of technology. BeHeroes.net does not seek nor accept any monetary gain or financial support from any social media platform mentioned. BeHeroes.net is committed to providing quality consulting, coaching, product, speaker, and contracted therapeutic services, advocacy, and resources to clients, visitors, customers, colleagues, and fans. Appropriate is produced by BeHeroes.net.